Girls Inc. I'm Mary Sue Milliken.
Hey Girls Inc. I'm Susan Feniger, and I love the work that Girls Inc. does. I've been to many of the luncheons. I think you're fantastic.
Thank you for all those great questions. You're very thoughtful girls.
Are you gonna be chefs? That's the big question. And come work with us. All right, let's go. Let's hear your questions.
What inspired you to make Mexican food? Haley.
Okay, Haley, I'll tell you, this was many years ago. Both Mary Sue and I were working in French kitchens. We were the only women in the kitchen, almost, and in different ones. And we worked with a lot of women and men from Latin American countries that were all speaking Spanish. And we would eat these staff meals that they would make that were fantastic. And we loved Mexican food that we were eating in the restaurants, and we could never get it out in the restaurants out there. So we decided, great, let's open a Mexican restaurant.
What dish are you known for? Aza.
Who is it?
Aza?
Aza? Aza. Okay. What dish? Well, we're known for a lot of dishes, but really at Border Grill, I have to say probably the dishes we're most known for are our tacos, our potato rajas tacos, our carne asada tacos, our quesadillas. Those are probably the dishes most people think about us. But what we really want them to know us for is our ceviches, our marinated fish.
And flan. We make delicious flan.
What dish takes the longest? Grace.
Mole.
Who, Grace? Well, Grace, some dishes take a really long time because they have to cook for a long time or they have to chill overnight. For example, when we make our flan, we have to cook it really slowly and then we can't eat it until the next day. Or a mole takes a long time to make because there's so many ingredients. There's toasted sesame seeds and tortillas and all kinds of spices and chilies, and it just takes a long time to cook.
What was your favorite food as a kid? Lindsay.
Lindsay, let me think. My favorite food as a kid, well, I think my mom used to make these green beans with lots of butter and salt, and I loved that. I know it's hard to believe, but I also loved having hot fudge sundaes. Those are probably my two favorite things, green beans and hot fudge sundaes.
What is the worst thing you ever made, Vanessa?
Well, Vanessa, there have been a few times when we've totally failed. I'll never forget one time we were serving about 100 people and we were making mussels. Mussels and clams are those shellfish that open up, and we cooked them at too high a heat and they cooked all of them shut, so they never opened. And we had to open each one by hand for 100 people. It was a nightmare. So that was probably my worst nightmare cooking.
Did you always plan on being a cook, or did you want to be something else? Kiari.
Who?
Kiari?
Kiardi? Kiardi, let's see. Did I always want to be a chef? Well, no, not really. I mean, not until later on. I think when I was younger, I thought I wanted to be a tennis player, and I still play. Then I thought I wanted to sell real estate, and then I thought I wanted to be an economist. And all along I was cooking, but I never really thought about being a chef until much later, that I really thought, yes, I want to be a chef. I loved food. My mother was a great cook, and I used to cook with her. But, it took me a while to figure out what I really wanted to be.
What made you decide to be a chef, Brianna?
Well, Brianna, I remember it was a moment. I was 16 years old, and I was visiting my sister who was in college, and she asked me to go to a dinner party, and the dinner party was thrown by one of her best friends who was a professional chef, and he started cooking with his knives like unbelievably fast, and that was the moment I thought, I want to be like that. I want to be able to cook fast. I want to be in the kitchen and be completely proficient, be able to do everything possible in the kitchen.
Who inspired you to be a chef? Lily.
Lily, boy, I think probably the first person that really inspired me in the big picture was my mom, because she was an incredible cook. And she had great taste buds. She just made great food. And then the next person that inspired me was a man that I was working for that was an army cook. And he had the greatest sense of humor, worked really hard, and I loved working with him. And I think he was the one that really pushed me to say, you should do this. You should do this as a career.
How does it feel to be a famous chef, Ariana?
Well, Ariana, when I started cooking a long time ago, there were no celebrity chefs. And when I went to chef school, when I was 17, I went into it because I loved to cook, and I felt like that was how I was going to be able to wake up and be happy every day. So when all of a sudden people started paying a lot of attention to chefs, and chefs on television, and doing shows like,
Top Chef Masters,
Top Chef Masters, doing shows like Top
Food
Chef
Network shows.
Right. When things started happening like Top Chef Masters, then it was just sort of unbelievable. But it was sort of a bonus. I think it's really nice, but it wasn't why I started cooking in the first place.
Do you like making people food, Ariana?
Ariana, yes, I love making people food. One of my most favorite things is when I'm working in the restaurants and then I walk out to talk to customers and they've had a great experience, they love what they've eaten. That's really satisfying. It's very instant gratification. You cook something, you walk out into the dining room, people are loving it. There's something about doing that that's just absolutely wonderful.
Is it hard to be a chef, Mia?
Well, Mia, being a chef is definitely a hard job. In the beginning, we both were working from 8 in the morning until midnight, 5 or 6 days a week for many, many years. And it's hot and sweaty and heavy, and sometimes there's things that are stinky. But
and you burn your arms and cut your fingers.
But in the end, like Susan said, when you go out in the dining room and you see those eyes that are sparkling from your customers who loved what they ate, it makes it all worth it.
Why are you called Two Hot Tamales, Avila? Avila, why are we called Two Hot Tamales? Isn't it obvious? Now, when we were first coming up with doing a show for Food Network, we had to come up with a name. Because we were going to do Mexican food, we wanted to come up with something that sounded Mexican and referred to us. So we were coming up with all sorts of names, and that was the name that we thought fit us. You know, two of us, hot meaning, you know, cool, and tamales, Mexican.
Why are you strong, smart, and bold, Haley?
Well, Haley, girls, by and large, are strong, smart, and bold. I guess it's kind of bold to become a chef because it's kind of a hard, heavy job that usually has a lot of men in it. And smart because I think in order to succeed in this business, you have to be all these things. You have to be smart about business. You have to be smart about how you care about people. You have to be smart about, you know, what people want. So it's not just one single thing. You can't just be a good cook. So you have to be all of these things to everybody. And you have to be smart about what you choose to do with your life and how you spend your time. If it's something that you love doing, it won't even feel like you're going to work. It'll feel like you're going to do something you love to do. That's smart. And strong, well, strong is always good. You just want to be strong out there in the world. And I think from all the experience I've had with Girls Inc., honestly, I think when you get those tools to be confident and feel good about who you are and feel like you have a place out there in the world, that's going to make you be smart and strong and bold. And that's what you need to do. So good luck, girls. Come see us. And thanks for sending your great questions.